Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be testing out some products from Coastal Scents. I got to pick out a few things and they sent them to me for me to try for you guys. So if you would like to see how I got this makeup look right here, please keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you guys is actually this brush set. This is the Elite Brush Set Bamboo Collection, and in this there is a brush for anything you could possibly think of. There's a flat buffer, tapered powder, angled blush, flat multi-purpose, foundation, large shadow, pointed precision, doe foot blender, a fan brush, flat tipped shadow, dome shadow, pointed blender, concealer, angled shadow, flat liner, brow, detail pointed, small shadow, flat liner, detail mini, angled liner. It says the Elite Brush Set is an extensive collection of professional quality cosmetic brushes to create any look, from a flawless complexion to gorgeous smoky eyes. This top-notch set features 24 exquisite bamboo-handled brushes that offer both superb durability and craftsmanship. Each brush has a matte black ferrule that holds the softest, lush white synthetic bristles, which are excellent for applying both dry and liquid products. All 24 brushes are packed in a black leatherine, what's up with these words I've never heard of, case that can fold up and be secured with magnets, allowed for easy travel and storage. That is so many. I don't think I've ever tried any Coastal Scents brushes. These are all the brushes. Oh my goodness. Obviously I'm not going to be able to use all of them, but I'm going to use as many as I can for sure. This would be like such a good gift for somebody too. Maybe like a beginner or somebody that doesn't have a lot of brushes. Like this set would be like perfect. And all the brushes have like a little number on them. I wish though that they had like what this brush was intended for written on it. I think this is like a flat foundation brush. So let's go ahead and use, ooh, the one brush we're missing is a stippling brush. So you could obviously use whatever brush for whatever product that you want, but I kind of want to just follow along with what they suggest using these brushes for. So the first thing that I'm going to be putting on my face is the Beginnings Face Primer. Helps reduce the appearance of pores, fine lines, wrinkles, prolong your foundation wear, and achieve a flawless picture perfect look every day. So I'm going to be trying this out. It does look like it's a silicone primer and I have dry skin, so it's always interesting. So this is a nice like frosted glass bottle. It has 5 stars out of 75 reviews. It retails for $10. And it says the silky lightweight formula can be worn alone or under makeup. It does have a pump. Okay, so much for there being a pump. I guess I'm just going to, I wonder if it's just because it's so thick, it's like stuck in there and that's why it's not coming out. So you can see it's a super thick primer. Obviously got way too much. I'm just gonna, ooh, it's thick and it feels like a wet silicone type of feeling. It kind of, ooh, it like just blurred out all of that area. Whoa, okay, yeah. So this is definitely a blurring primer. Blurring, smoothing primer like they said. It feels really smooth. Feels really good on the skin. Well, it's a smoothing primer, but it feels really nice on my skin, but we'll see because I have dry skin and you never know. So now I'm going to be applying some foundation. I'm going to use the flat, I don't really like flat foundation brushes, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm going to use the flat buffer brush, which is this guy right here. Ooh, and it also has one of these plastic containers to keep the shape of the brush. Only the first 4 big ones have those, like none of the other ones do. Ooh, these bristles are really soft, but this brush is not as dense as I would like for foundation. I'll try it, but I don't think it's gonna work. So I'm just gonna mix my number 7 Lift and Illuminate foundation. I'm busting this guy back out because it's so good. And I'm going to be mixing the shade Cool Beige with Cool Vanilla. So this brush set retails for $50, but right now it's on sale for $35 and has 5 stars out of 209 reviews. Alright, let's try this brush for foundation. Yeah, it's just a little too flimsy. Like, I feel like this brush would be good for a primer, but for foundation, I just need something that's like a little bit more dense. Yeah, I think this is like a good alternative to a stippling brush because it is like pretty flimsy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my foundation with my Beauty Blender. So I'm just gonna look up close to see how this foundation looks on top of that primer. Ooh, it actually looks really good. I was a little worried that that primer was going to make my foundation look kind of cakey maybe because I do have dry skin, but it looks really nice. So the next thing I'm going to be trying out is this Camouflage palette. This has 10 concealers in it. So I'm going to try to use it for concealer and cream contour and cream bronzer. So this guy right here, everything on this site has 5 stars. This has 5 stars out of 251 reviews and it retails for $12. It says create a flawless complexion with these 10 cream based concealers, seamlessly blend flaws away in an instant with a range of shades for full coverage. This says it's known as the makeup magic for professional makeup artists. Concealer easily custom blends to cover that which you wish would just go away. It's like your very own magic kit. So it comes in just this like hard plastic case. And then here are the shades. So I think I'm going to use like the lightest one. This one kind of has like a pinky undertone. So I'm going to go in with this. I think it's this little brush right here. I mean, it feels really creamy. If anything, I'll probably apply the concealer with a brush and then go over it with my sponge. So the concealer feels like a little bit thick, but it also feels like it's going to blend out really nice too. So I'm just going to do a quick blend with the brush, and the brush is actually working to do this, so I do like that, but I'm still going to go over it with my sponge for sure. But yeah, I like this brush for this. I just want to try my ring finger and see what that looks like. So every time I use a product, I'm going to try to tell you what another product is that it reminds me of. And like this reminds me of the Brittany little cream concealers, which I actually really like those. I need to bust those out too. But yeah, this is nice. The concealer does feel thick, but it blends out really nice. And I think it looks really nice on the skin. So I'm going to use this flat brush. This is the flat multi-purpose brush. I'm going to use this to apply like the darker shade for a cream contour. Well, none of these are really gray undertones, so I think I'm just going to do like bronzer, skip the contour. So let's go ahead and let's try this one up here. Sorry, maybe I should try it this way. So this is the concealer shade that I used, and now I'm going to try this one for bronzer. So I'm just going to use this brush to apply it and then use my sponge to blend it out. I'm going to take this brush right here. I think this is the pointed blender. Let me double check. Pointed Precision. I'm going to use that to apply this shade to my nose and my lips. Ooh, I like this to apply cream concealer to my nose. So I'm just going to kind of blend this out with this brush first, and then I'll go over it with the sponge. Ooh, this blends out really nice, actually. These concealers do blend out really nice. I'm just gonna go back in with this brush, but I'm just going to flip it to the other side, and I'm going to go in with the top concealer shade right here and just do like a little bit more highlighting, just because I feel like it's just a little dark right now. So I'm just going to add some more light to my face. This would be such a good palette. I used to freelance for like a few years when I first moved to California, and this would have been like a really good palette to bring with me to cream contour clients because it does blend out really nice. It's affordable. and everything's in one palette. So, and to me, I feel like this blends out easier than the Anastasia cream contour palettes. Like, I really like those too, but I feel like this, like the Anastasia ones, to me, the creams are like way thicker, and then the Coastal Scents ones feel thick, but they blend out way easier, and I feel like the Anastasia ones, like, they're thick and they feel thick on the skin. So the brush they have in here for brows is not angled. This looks like a flat eyeshadow brush, so I was going to use that, but that's not going to work. We do have a flat angled brush that's supposed to be for eyeliner, but I'm going to use this for brows because I don't really wear eyeliner anyways. When I do, I definitely don't wear a wing. So I'm going to try this one for the brows. I do like that there is a bunch of like mini little detailed brushes, because that is one thing that I don't ever really buy. So I'm just going to use my LA Girl brow pomade. So the brush is a little flimsy, but I think it worked. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to use some concealer to kind of like even out my brows. Oh, I'm going to use that concealer palette to carve out my brows. So I'm just going to take this little flat concealer brush. This actually looks like the Morphe one that I use all the time. And I'm going to take, let's try this shade of concealer right here, because I don't want like super carved out brows. So now I'm going to use the powder brush. I'm going to use my Coty Airspun. So the one thing though, these brushes are really soft, like no complaints there, but they are just like a smidge too flimsy for me. So I'm just going to apply this kind of all over, and then I'm going to let it set and then kind of like go back and dust off the excess. I feel like I would almost prefer this powder brush for blush or bronzer. I got way too much of this Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber stuff in this brow, and there's like no coming back. For bronzer, I'm going to be trying out the Suntones bronzer. This is in the shade Medium. This is what the packaging looks like. Ooh, there is a mirror, and it looks like there's like a slight sheen to it. This kind of reminds me, just the way it looks, of those Sephora ones. I have a couple of them that came out a couple years ago that have like the little sun on the inside. So this comes in two shades, light and medium. It retails for $7 and it's rated 5 stars out of 67 reviews. Add an instant sun-kissed look to fair or medium skin tones with sun tones. What should I do? I'm going to try the powder brush for the bronzer first. Oh, okay. Whoa. Don't let this fool you. This is way more pigmented than I thought. Oh my gosh. Ooh, but I do like this brush for bronzer. So when you look at the bronzer, you can see that there's like a sheen, but on the skin, doesn't really look like it. For blush, I'm going to be trying out this Blush Essentials palette. Comes with 6 shades, so if you love pink blush, you definitely need this palette. So this palette right here has 5 stars out of 53 reviews, and it retails for $10. Let's go ahead and use this one right here. There's like a little bit of a shimmer to it, and I'm going to use the angled blush brush. I have a feeling these are going to be really pigmented, so I'm going to be careful. Yeah, I barely dipped my brush in there. This is a nice brush for blush as well. Yeah, you guys can like really see it, I think. I mean, it looks like I'm piling it on. This is how it starts. I'm like, oh, just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then I'm like, blah. So the blush palette too looks like it comes with 3 shimmer blushes. So these 2 are shimmers, and then this top one over here, and then the rest are matte. So I just realized I don't have a highlighter from them, so I'm just going to use a different one, but I'm going to try out this fan brush. You would think with how flimsy this brush is that it wouldn't really apply, but That looks good. And like I have a heavy hand, so me using something flimsy like really helps me like control how much I'm putting on. Like I feel like I could layer it and layer it and layer it and it wouldn't look crazy. Moving on to eyes. I feel like it took us forever to get to this point. I'm going to be trying out the Revealed Rogue or Rouge. I can't tell. This is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. It's just like a warm toned eyeshadow palette. To me, it reminds me of the Urban Decay Heat palette, I think is what it's called. Naked Heat. Ooh, this looks gorgeous. Look at that. Ooh. So this retails for $20 and it has 5 stars out of 27 reviews. So I see in this brush kit, like there's like a lot of really good ones for like detailed, but they don't really have a fluffy brush, what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to use one of my brushes. So I'm going to go in with this first shade right here called Peach Party. I'm going to throw that all over the lid. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade called Perfection, which is this shade right here. Use that as kind of like a transition shade. Next, I'm going to go in with, I think the shade called Raspberry, which is this matte shade over here. It's going to focus this right into the crease. These matte shades in this palette blend out really nice. This actually, okay, I said it reminded me of the Naked Heat, but it actually reminds me of the Naked Cherry palette. So I feel like online when I was looking at it, it looked more like rusty warm tones, but now when I'm looking at it, it has more like berry rusty tones, which is cool because I do have the Naked Cherry palette, but this one obviously has more shades, but I can't think off the top of my head that I have a palette that looks like this. So that's nice, and I like it too. Like these shades are really pretty. I'm actually gonna add some of this shade directly into my crease too, just to deepen it up a bit, or above my crease, I guess is what I meant. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade called Crave, which is this darker shade down here, and I'm gonna focus that on the outer V. I'm just going to add a little bit more of Crave like into my eyelid because I want to use a darker shade for the actual outer V. I thought the cream concealer palette was like going to be like my favorite because I just liked how it blended out and stuff, but this so far is my favorite. This palette, this is good. I'm going to go in with the shade called Night Rush, which is kind of like a red tone brown, and I'm going to put that in the outer V. There's like no kickback in the palette from me putting my brush in there. I have no fallout on my under eyes. So now I'm going to take one of the shimmer shades. Let's do Sundance. It's this one up here. Ooh. This is like a rusty color. It's pretty, but it's not. I'm just gonna add some on the lid so it's the same, but that's not the shade I want for my lid, I don't think. I'm gonna go with the shade called Sacred down here. It's not super pigmented, but I think with like a wet brush you could really make it intense, but I don't know if it's just me personally, but I don't really like doing that. I would rather just like leave it as is. But I want to take a lighter shade for like the more inner corner, so I'm going to go in with, let's do the shade called Red Delight up here. And I'm going to take one of these smaller brushes from the brush kit. This is like one of the smaller detail brushes that looks actually be perfect for inner corner and brow bone to me. So let's take this other one. This is the brush that they wanted you to use for brows, which didn't make any sense to me, but we're going to use that one. Inner part. Actually might have to get my brush wet, I think. Showing up. So I'm just going to take some Fix Plus. That didn't work. So nope, we're not doing that. Like, I'm not super impressed with the shimmers, but because the shimmers aren't like super like, you know, I think this makes this palette really wearable for the daytime and the nighttime, or if you just don't want like a super intense shimmer. But like these mattes in here alone are enough for me to definitely recommend this palette. Like, I love the matte shades. Like I said, I'm not totally blown away by the shimmers, but the matte shades, oh my gosh. So I'm going to take the shade in here called Fairy Dust, or no, Shiny. It's like this light kind of cream shade, and I'm going to try to highlight my brow bone with this and my inner corner. Well, this shimmer shade is fine. I don't know. Weird. That's pretty. And I'm going to mix a little bit of Fairy Dust in with Shiny and use that for my inner corner. I'm just going to work on my lower lash line. So I'm just going to take all the shades that I used on my lids. I'm going to go with the shade called Devilish. It's another shimmer shade, and I'm going to apply that to the lid too. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on some mascara, and then when I come back we have some lip products to try out. So next I'm going to be trying out a lipstick. This is in the shade 02. This retails for $4 and it has 147 reviews, 5 stars. And then this is the packaging. It's just kind of like a gunmetal. And then this is the shade, which is kind of like a lilac undertone, baby pink it looks like to me. Luscious lipsticks in 15 everlasting creamy shades, from vibrant pinks and deep reds to rich purples. So let's do a swatch too. So that's the shade, and I already lined my lips. You know what? This lipstick goes with the palette, I think. It does feel really creamy. I feel like it does look different though than the picture online, because online when I was picking it out, I thought it was going to be more of a nude, I guess, like more of like a nude pink. But on the back of my hand, it kind of looks like a mixture of Mac Snob and Mac Angel had a baby, and then it was this. But I also picked out a gloss that I thought would go with this lipstick, because I thought the lipstick was going to be more nude, but this gloss is not going to go with this lip color, but I want to show you guys anyways. So this is the Lip Tubes. This has 4.5 stars, 30 reviews, and retails for $30. I have the shade Burgundy. These kind of look like the Lancome Juicy Tubes. It does look like there's like chunks of glitter in it. Should we just, I'm just gonna put it on top of this lip color, why not? Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the Lancome juicy tubes. So like I said, there is glitter. Ooh, a lot of glitter, and it's really thick. It is pretty, but if you don't like thick glosses, you won't like this. I do like the shade of it. Not a big fan of, I love the shade, but not a big fan of the glitter chunks. It kind of hurts a little bit on my lips. And then you can't really even see the glitter. Like, it'd be one thing if the chunks of glitter you could actually see sparkling on your lips, but you can't. So it kind of, like, I can feel it. Like, it feels like an exfoliator almost. But that really stinks because I love the shade of this. Like, this is definitely a shade, and a little bit goes a long way. But with those chunks of glitter, like, I mean, I can look past it because I don't really care. I feel like I'm not, like, super picky when it comes to, like, really makeup in general, but, like, lip products for sure. Like, even though this glitter is kind of but I could definitely see people complaining about the glitter chunks in it. But the shade is so pretty. So I need to change my battery because it's about to die, and I'm gonna refix my hair, and then I'll come back and we'll go over everything that I tried out, and I'll let you guys know the products that I highly recommend. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and go over everything that I tried out, no particular order. So the first thing that I'm gonna be talking about is the lipstick. I think it's a really nice formula, but the shades, like when you look at the shades online and then they come, they're like totally different. So I like the shade, it's just not the shade that I was expecting to get. The formula is nice. I think for the price, this is like a good product. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the Lip Tubes lip gloss in the shade Burgundy. I love the shade of this, but the chunks of glitter are just totally throwing me off. As long as I don't rub my lips together, I think it'll be okay, but I wish they would just like take out the glitter, because then this product would be bomb. Like, I love the shade of it. I love the shine, kind of like plump look it's giving my lips, but those glitter chunks, ugh, killing me. So next I'm going to be talking about the brush kit. I'm kind of 50-50 about this because I didn't get to use all of the brushes. It did come with, I think, what, 24 brushes, and I did like almost every single brush I use. There's only a couple of them that I was just kind of like about, but I think this would be really good for beginners because there's a brush for every single thing, and then there's like extra brushes that you could use however you want, which you could use the brushes however you want anyways, but I like that it's travel friendly. I think this is a good like kit to give somebody if they're just starting out in makeup. The next thing I tried out was the Sun Tones bronzer. This is definitely way more pigmented than I expected. There is like a slight sheen on my forehead. I saw it when I was fixing my bangs, but I don't mind a sheen in my bronzer. If you do, you probably won't like this, but I think it's beautiful. It's a lot more pigmented than I thought, and it's a little bit more warm than I would typically pick out, but I think it looks really nice, and I think it looked really nice on top of the cream concealer kit that we're about to talk about next. But yeah, I really like this. Next up, I definitely recommend this concealer palette, especially if you want to get into like a cream highlight and contour. I think this would be perfect for that. It blends out really nice. You can add it and then like it still blends out. You can have a heavy hand. Like, I feel like I kind of had a heavy hand when I was applying it, and it blended out really nice. Feels really lightweight. It doesn't feel thick on the skin or anything like that. So yes, I like this. I really wish I would have had this when I was freelancing. Next we have the Blush Essentials Blush Kit. I think this is a really pretty palette. If you love pink blush, this is definitely the palette for you. It's nice that you have 3 kind of shimmer blushes and 3 matte blushes. So I think that like the shade of pink looks so good with like a light hand on like a lot of different skin tones. I really like it. So the last thing that I tried out, which is my favorite thing from this entire video, is the eyeshadow palette. Oh my gosh, the matte shades in this palette are seriously amazing. I love the matte shades. I love the entire like color story in this palette. I love how everything is laid out. Like, to me, it's just really appealing to the eye, and like the shades are so gorgeous. Like, I love the eyeshadow look that I was able to create. I think it's really pretty, and I don't think I have an eyeshadow palette that looks like this. The closest thing I think I have is the Naked Cherry, but this palette is gorgeous. I love it. Like, I definitely, if you buy anything from this video, this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video watching me test out some products from Coastal Scents. Again, thank you so much Coastal Scents for sending over these products for me to try. Let me know what you guys liked the best in this video. Like I said, the eyeshadow palette, and then that concealer palette, that was really good too. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.